From Idaho's News Channel 7, this is Friday Night Football.
Best day of the week, Friday Night Football. Even better because it's playoff time.
Playoff edition. Hey, we said it last week, the mantra, it's pretty simple. You win, you survive.
Survive. And a lot at stake, a lot of heavyweight matchups in the quarterfinals of the Idaho State playoff football race. We'll start with two of the heavyweight teams in our area. It's Eagle versus Rocky, and man, battling it out under the moonlight. The Mustangs trying to win their first state title since 2009, but to get to that title game, they'd have to get through this dangerous Grizzlies team. Early on, though, Mustangs defense looking rock solid. They're keeping that Rocky Mountain offense at bay. Here they get the red zone stop, and they force the Grizz to settle for 3 here. So things going pretty well for Eagle. On offense here, Austin Ramsey and company looking to get on the board before the half comes to a close here. Watch this throw. He finds Luke Makita, who goes up. What a great grab.
I thought that was going to be a pick.
I did too, and he just kind of mossed him. I can't explain it, but Ramsey, he tries to figure it out himself, dive into the end zone, and the ball squeaks loose. And that's how the first half would end, 3-0 Rocky Mountain. Second half action, opening drive. Ramsey would redeem himself, though. He keeps it again and dives across the goal line. This time, hangs onto the ball. That touchdown counts, 6-3 Mustangs. Rocky would eventually tie it on a field goal, and then Kalen Custer finds Rashawn Jones with this pop pass for a huge play. Dragged down at the 1-yard line, and Oakley Baxter finishes the job. 13-6 Rocky Mountain. Now let's see some of the missed opportunities here. 4th down. The Eagle finds a touchdown pass here, right? Well, Rocky calls timeout just before this play.
Wow.
And then this would happen. Drops back to pass, same play, and instead picked off by Rocky Mountain. Just a few minutes left in the game. Eagle would have one last chance to make something happen. Rocky's student section going crazy. And Ramsey running for his life. He's directing traffic. He heaves up a prayer, and it's batted away by David Maiolo. That's how this one would end. Rocky Mountain hangs on in a defensive thriller. 13-6 on the road. They advance, and they will face Coeur d'Alene in the semifinal round. That is a crazy good game. Heartbreaking finish for Eagle. But man, they left it all out on the field tonight.
Phenomenal season for Eagle. You just tough for the quarterback to fumble that one on the goal line there. Tough play. Yeah. So many opportunities, like you said.
There was some dropped passes in the end zone. There was the timeout. It was just kind of a culmination of very cold nights, a night where everyone was running the football, and Rocky just came out on top.
You got to give it to Rocky, too. I mean, they bounced back after losing to Timberline to get that #1 seed, or a chance to get the #1 seed to play Eagle. They bounced back, and they're in the semifinals. Rocky Mountain, stand up. But, hey, we had another big-time matchup. This one out in downtown Donna Larson Park for this one. Timberline taking on the Middleton Vikings, the only team to beat Timberline this season. Early on, it was the Wolves and Hudson Lewis making plays on defense. That's right, defense, not offense. And then on 4th down, the Vikings dropped the punt.
Oh, no.
Wolves in business. Jack Brandt, he would do his thing. Scrambles down the sideline for the touchdown. Timberline up 7-0 early. I was trying to get creative on the sideline here on this kickoff, and the Wolves would go squib kick off the Vikings return man. They would get the ball back, and then it's Hudson Lewis doing plays on offense. Takes the end around inside of the end zone. Touchdown, 14-0. You really thought this would be a big-time blowout, but it wasn't. They were this close to going up 21-0, and then a fumble on the 1-yard line. Middleton in business, and they would take advantage themselves. Briar Bauman to Talon Kaminsky, and we've got a ball game. Timberline had another shot before halftime to go up by multiple scores again. Watch this play. Brandt finds his wide receiver in the back of the end zone. Unbelievable call by the referee. I slowed it down on my camera. He was out of bounds, 14-7 at halftime. Timberline would take advantage in the third quarter. They would go on an 8-minute-plus drive. Hudson Lewis, double coverage, doesn't matter, finds the end zone. That's the 21st point for Timberline, and that's all they would need because they would play stellar defense and the Wolves would get a couple of sacks. Stop Middleton on 4th down, and Timberline is moving on to the semifinals, 21-7.
Man.
Unbelievable.
What a revenge game for the Wolves, man.
They get revenge on the only team that has beat them all season. Now, people have said, it was because of the rain, but you don't make excuses. So there you go.
Couple of things, though. It never fails when you try to get creative shooting high school football. Then just a crazy big play happens. You always miss it. It's happened to me all season long.
I was like, watch this. I'm going to get this kickoff through the player's cleats. It's going to look really cool. Little did I know, Timberline was going to squib it off of Middleton's player. They get the ball back, and then one play later, Hudson Lewis touchdown.
Man, that's just how it always seems to go. Over out east, though, Mountain View taking on Rigby, the defending state champs. Look at this walkout by Rigby. That is electrifying.
Never seen anything like that.
Reminds you of Saturday nights on the Blue with Boise State. Mountain View doesn't look phased, though, and it might have fired him up even more. Rigby starts with the ball here, 0-0. It's going to be Jacob Flowers who finds Evan Freeman. Look at this. Catches it at the 10, walks in 5, touchdown. Trojans up 7-0. Next drive, though, QB Henry Nelson says, watch this. 3rd and 12. Nelson, he's going to look for some help. Doesn't see anything. He's going to use his legs to take off, and he gets tripped up, but he keeps his balance to make it across the goal line. He's fired up. Things are all tied up at 7. The Mavs defense would hold and force a punt, and that would be tipped. Great heads-up play and a fair catch by Corbin Hedgecock to give Mountain View good field position, because the next play, look at this dot. Henry Nelson again. He wants it all, and he gets it to Denton Wilson. What a play. What a catch. Unfortunately, Mountain View just ran out of gas against the defending state champs. 42-28, the final score. Rigby hangs on and advances to the semifinals.
Best run out in high school football? Has to be, right?
Best one that I've ever seen. And we've got a lot of great high schools, the fan bases, everything they do here is awesome. I've not seen a light show like that from a student section.
And turn off the lights to really light it up.
That was really cool.
That was impressive.
Yeah, they didn't have that when I was in high school. We just ran out of light. We just broke through like the paper sign, you know what I mean, as we took the film. The cliche.
And then you trip over it.
Right.
And if one person trips, y'all trip.
And then it's a great start for the football season.
Ours was Velcro.
Velcro, oh, see, that's
so
smart.
It never got ruined.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, we had to make like 8 for the season. So that's smarter.
Well, let's go up north, huh? Coeur d'Alene taking on Madison. First quarter. Coeur d'Alene touchdown pass. Tanner Stern to Daniel Shute. 7-0. Look at that. Look at those uniforms, too. The blue helmets, the black jerseys. That's nice right there by Coeur d'Alene. Let's go to the
Timberline a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at this.
Scramble by Tanner Stern. Watch this pass. George Mitchell, potential top play of the night. What do you think?
That looks pretty good. Just puts it over the defender, only where his man can get it. And just the start of a great night for Tanner. Look at this pass by him. Stern finds Bennett Jokic. That sets him up inside the red zone, and that's going to set up Ian Dolan. 21-0 Coeur d'Alene. And they would roll through Madison tonight. Coeur d'Alene moving on to the semifinals. 42-14 decisive victory.
Pick 6.
For Madison. Man, good on all sides of the ball there. That's going to be a tough test next week for Rocky.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if that quarterback's going to be making passes like that. When you got players that can make plays like that too, your only job as a quarterback, throw it up to him.
Yeah, absolutely. And just the pocket presence here and the Doug Flutie Hail Mary, just putting it only where his guy could get it.
Names, look at you.
I know. How about that for a throwback? How about that? BK in action tonight. They are also trying to stay undefeated here. Look at this. Early on, taking on Blackfoot, and they would score there. That's Ryan Ariano, and powers across the goal line there, Austin.
Yeah, Ariano, hey, he would score again. He's a dominant running back, dives into the end zone. BK, as powerful as they've looked all season, there's a reason why they're undefeated. Blackfoot, they would try to come in with the upset, but this pass right here, trying to get on the board, intercepted. What a play right there. Maybe give that guy a look at wide receiver. Unbelievable. And then it's the BK quarterback, the man himself. Benavea, watch this as they celebrate the interception party on the sideline.
It's a party on the quarterback.
Watch the quarterback. Scrambles, steps up. Ooh, look at this. floats one. Look at
That's a
it's like
dog.
the flick of the wrist.
That was effortless.
To your favorite player, Boston Husky.
On the run, that's a tough throw, and he makes it just look so easy.
Bishop
Kelly's-
Kelly.
They made it look
Wow.
easy all season.
All over them, 40-8.
Man, that is a tough. Remember, that's BK. I think we say this every Friday night. They open the season beating Rigby. It's no wonder they're 10-0. These guys are loaded heading into the semis.
I think it's a missed opportunity that their school doesn't have a podcast or a show that's called the BK Lounge.
The BK Lounge. I like that.
Yeah,
You might have
Dane-
just started something here.
Dane Cook?
Dane Cook.
The BK Lounge.
Oh, wow, yeah. I'm making throwbacks today. You're bringing up Dane Cook? That's pretty awesome. Hey, let's go into some 5A action. It's going to be the defending champions.
We don't have any
Hillcrest.
fun on this show.
No, it is strictly business, as it should be. No, they're hosting Lakeland. It's the quarterfinals here. Hawks with the ball first. Opening drive of the game. Look at this.
Oh, what a throw!
Takes the hit, running the opposite direction, and he flings it to a wide open Jaron Yeager for the touchdown.
Yeager bomb.
7-0. Yeager bomb, 7-0 Hawks. Hillcrest first drive of the game. Tyson Sweetwood shows off the arm, and he goes over the top, fights Dax Sargent. That's another great name. They're just filled on these rosters here. Sets up the Knights just outside the 20, and then it's going to be Sweetwood who takes it from there. Runs to the left, moves the pile, carries a handful of Hawks down to the 6-yard line, and then the direct snap. Just making it look easy. I wouldn't want to tackle this guy. Look at him take
Jeez.
3 defenders into the end zone. More Sweetwood, and man, came up just short. Next play, they just punch it in. But dude, that guy looks like a little bit of Ashton Genty there.
He doesn't skip leg day.
No, he sure does not. It's only leg day, leg press, squats. Doesn't worry about it. Then they'll swing it over one more time, and look at him make man miss. I mean, there's
I think that's the whole defense trying to bring him down
seven
there.
defenders on him right there. Man, it was a great battle here. Hillcrest rolls Lakeland. They moved to 10-1 onto the semifinals. That guy looked impossible to tackle.
No thanks.
Yeah, I'm
No
getting.
thanks. My back already hurts.
just watching that
Just
guy.
thinking of trying to bring him down. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's going to make a coach pull his hair out watching those guys just get dragged into the end zone. But shows why they are 10-1 on the season here.
Big time victory for them. The Sandpoint Bulldogs and the Skyline Grizzlies both went into tonight's playoff game, at 8-2. The Bulldogs' first drive, Jensen Sheets with the touchdown. Holy sheets.
Holy sheets. Wow. And they'll go for the 2-point conversion attempt and secure it 8-0. Skyline, they'd have an answer. Look at
Aaron
that.
Ajeda finding the open pocket. Grizzlies on the board, and then standout Zion Crockett is at it again, taking it down near the 5-yard line, up the sideline, inside of Idaho State's ICCU dome. Pretty cool place to play football there. That's pretty cool.
Second coolest dome in the state, I'm told.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're going to go there. That was the Grizzlies' second touchdown of the game and making it look easy. Crockett found a hole again and dove it in for the extra point.
Wow.
Sandpoint has the answer. Look at that. Quarterback Braden Buckout with the dime pass to Brock Yarbo. Skyline was only up 1. Let's jump to the second quarter. Last week, Gage Searley got to the interception. And tonight, he's got it again. That was a diving interception on the play you saw there. What a battle.
Rolls on 43-35. Not rolls,
I got
but
really
just
far
win
behind
by
on
8.
that highlights there. Got a little lost.
That's right. It's
I was
11
too confused with the dome.
Did I distract you with that?
It was
You're
a
just
great,
kind of like thinking
I was
about
like,
it.
oh, I was lost. That's my bad.
Well, Skyline, man, 43-35 over Sandpoint. They'll survive. Man, they had some great play. That guy dropping a bucket in the back of the end zone. It feels like we're taking for granted how difficult some of these plays have been from the quarterbacks. They're making it look so easy. It's unbelievable.
Well, especially answering after a touchdown when you go down and you need an answer and you drop a pass like that. I mean, it's a quarterback style or a college quarterback style throw right there. Unbelievable.
That's going to be on that guy's huddle tape for sure.
Yeah. Shout out Huddle.
All right, Fruitland in action as well. The Grizzlies coming out, waving the flag. They are getting fired up. Look out, camera guy. Kevin in the way there.
Get out of the way.
Look at that. Early on, first quarter. It's going to be Fruitland QB Titus Vidlac. Talk about another elite QB here.
Talked about him all season.
All season long. He's just making plays. Finds Brant Fisher for a nice game there. Sets up Scamper from Vidlac. He just gets to the outside. Too easy. 7-0 Grizzlies. Fruitland with the ball midway through the second quarter here. It's going to be Vidlac. He's going to scramble, use his legs a little bit, and eventually make this nice toss to Killian Wilson for a huge gain. And they are setting up. Now, stop me if you've heard this before. Another impressive scamper from Titus Vidlac.
We said it all year long. Watch the style points here.
Oh, yes, sir. Somersaults into the end zone. Man, these guys have been unstoppable. 41-27, Fruitland takes care of business against Buhl. They've been unstoppable for years at this point. Vidlac just carrying the torch.
Yeah, we've called his name all season long. He's been on top plays. He's made big plays. He's thrown so many big-time touchdown passes, and he gets the little style points finding the pylon there.
That's right. Fruitland remains undefeated. Let's take a look at the bracket here, headed into the semifinals next week. We've got Rigby taking on, with Rigby taking down Mountain View. They will play host to Rocky Mountain. Those two set to square off in Rigby next weekend.
I'm excited for the other matchup.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great one.
Timberline also obviously took down Middleton, but it'll be Timberline and Coeur d'Alene. We're talking about two high-powered offenses with quarterbacks that can really throw the football. You got wide receivers that can make big-time catches. We know what Hudson Lewis can do. What a matchup that will be. Donna Larson Park.
Another great home game at Donna Larson Park. Timberline, just the dark
Wolves.
horse. They are rolling this
Talked
year.
about him in the beginning of the season. We're still talking about him now.
Yeah.
Advanced.
And we've talked about BK all season long. They are tearing through the 5A bracket. Hillcrest, Twin Falls, they are going to be pitted up against each other in the top half of this one. And BK is going to be playing host to Skyline in the semis. And man, BK, I would be a little nervous to be any of those other three teams going up against the Knights.
BK looks like a freight train that is not going to be stopped anytime soon, especially when their quarterbacks are making plays like that. And they've got a guy named Boston Husky. What else do you need?
Can't seem to be guarded. That guy's wide open every time we show him on Friday Night Football here.
And he's not a tight end.
And he's
a
not
wide
a tight
receiver.
Even more impressive. Looking over at the 4A bracket, Fruitland, as you just saw, they remain undefeated. And they've got a date with Kimberly in the top half of that one. And then Sugar Salem wins against Snake River. They've got the pleasure of taking on Homedale. So a lot of great matchups as we head into the semis. Best time of football. I'm just sad it's winding down already. It feels like we blinked and we're already here.
We're here in the semifinals 1 week from now, and then we're going to start naming champions.
Yeah, pretty
It's
soon.
crazy.
The Milk Champions. The 3A bracket here, we've got Rigby taking on either Aberdeen or Priest River. That's going to be the winner of tomorrow's game. And then West Side taking care of West Jefferson and Nampa Christian. They survived. They beat North Fremont, and they advanced to the semis as well. A lot of local teams making an appearance here in the semis, trying to push for that state title game.
A lot of talent out here in the Treasure Valley and beyond. A lot of talent all over the state of Idaho. Excited to keep moving.
Absolutely. Well, I'm more excited for the plays of the night. We've got quite a few to pick from here.
Well, yeah, play number 3. I mean, we kind of saw it earlier. Early on in the broadcast, it's Jack Brandt finding the end zone, stretches out for the pylon, getting shoved out of bounds, showing the athleticism for Timberline. This was their first touchdown of the game. Watch this, slow it down for you. He reaches out for the goal line.
Wow. Just
Finds the end zone. Jack Brandt.
Big
time play there.
Now, we keep talking about Bishop Kelly, and I feel like we don't give Boston Husky enough screen time. Look at this dot from Avea to Boston Husky on the run. Makes it look so easy, puts it right on the money. But the pocket presence, that's so impressive to me.
And it's also the reason why it's the top place, because Boston Husky was on the other side of the end zone and then reverted back.
Yeah.
That's why it's the top play.
How about this one for number 1 of the night? Tanner Stern, you talked about great pocket presence.
Wow.
How about that play? Avoids both defensive linemen, steps back and airs out a dime to George Mitchell. Let's show you one last time. Scrambling. Nope.
Wow.
Whoop, ducks out of it. Whoop. And just drops it. That's what, 35-yard touchdown pass?
Just over the outstretched defender's arms. We got Tanner Stern versus Jack Brandt. How about Hudson Lewis versus George Mitchell? That sounds like
gonna be a
phenomenal Friday night next week.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to do it here from us. Boise State's on the bye this week, but they've got a lot of action tomorrow as well. What did we call this earlier today?
Sportsmageddon.
Sportsmageddon.
Boise
minus
State
football.
Sportsmageddon. Yeah, we got volleyball at 12, basketball at 2 p.m. on the men's side, and then soccer.
Mountain West Championship. Boise State looking to close it out against Utah State. A rematch of last year's Mountain West title game. We'll be there. We'll have all the highlights and more for the shows tomorrow.
10 o'clock. Tune in. Don't miss it.
Don't miss it. Thanks for being with us here for another Friday Night
Happy
Football.
playoffs.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Continue with us and watch free now on the KTVB Plus app everywhere you stream.